Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you've probably learned a bunch of Spanish words, right? But how do you actually turn those words into full sentences? Well, that's the big jump we're taking today, and we're going to do it by tackling two of the most common verb types in the entire language, the ER and IR verbs.
So let's just dive right in with a question. You might know that the verb to run is correr, but how would you say I run? Not to run, but I am the one doing it. Just take a second to think about that. It's a tiny change, but it makes all the difference.
You see, if you just say yo correr, that's kind of like saying I to run in English. It sounds a little off, doesn't it? To make that verb active, to give it a specific job, we need to use this incredible little tool called conjugation. It's the secret sauce.
And conjugation is just a fancy word for something really simple. All it means is we change the very end of the verb to match whoever is doing the action. It tells us if I am doing it, if you are doing it, or if they are. Think of it like giving the verb a custom-fit jersey for each player on the team.
Okay, first up, we're going to look at verbs that end in ER. This is a huge, super important group of verbs you'll use every single day. And the best part? They all follow this one beautiful, predictable pattern. So let's walk through it together.
Here is the simple two-step formula. It's like a recipe. First, you take your verb, let's say comer, and you just chop off that ER at the end. What you have left is called the stem. Then, step 2, you just stick on a new ending depending on who you're talking about. Seriously, that's all there is to it.
Let's see this in action with comer, which means to eat. Okay, look at the stem, com. Notice how it never changes? For I, we add an O, so we get como, I eat. For you, we add es, making it comes. For he or she, it's just a simple e, come. When it's we use emos, comemos. And finally, for they, we add n, comen. You see that pattern? It's the same stem, just with a different ending for each person.
So yeah, whether you're at a restaurant ordering food or just talking about your daily routine, you are going to be using this verb pattern all the time. It's a real workhorse of the Spanish language.
All right, let's move on to our next group, verbs that end in IR. And I have some fantastic news for you. If you just got the hang of those ER verbs, you are literally 90% of the way there with these. I like to call them the sibling verbs because they are so similar.
Okay, now this slide is awesome because it just lays it all out plain and simple. Look at these endings side by side. For I, you, he, she, and they are exactly the same. The only, and I mean the only difference is in the we form, the nosotros form. Instead of hemos, it's imos. That is the only new thing you have to learn right now.
So let's try it out with vivir, which means to live. Our stem is viv. So for I live, vivo. You live, vives. He or she lives, vive. Now here it is. We live, remember that one little change? That's right, it's imos, so vivimos. And for they live, we're right back to the old pattern, viven. See? You already knew how to do this.
All right, theory is one thing, but practice is really where it all clicks into place. So now it's your turn to be the language pro. Let's put these patterns to the test with a couple of faces you might recognize. You ready for this?
Okay, first up, our verb is correr, to run, and it's an ER verb, which means you already know the rules. Our subject is the Flash. The guy is super fast. So in Spanish, what does he do? We're looking for the L form, the he form of the verb.
All right, here are your options. Go ahead and take a look. The correct answer is corre. Perfect. Remember, for an ER verb, when we're talking about he, we just drop that ER and add a simple E. Él corre.
Excellent work. Let's do one more. Our verb is one we know very well by now, comer, to eat.
So the question is about Miguel from Coco. What does he eat for breakfast? Once again, we're looking for the L form of an ER verb. You know this one.
So what's the answer? If you picked come, you are absolutely right. Just like with correr, the he form gets that simple E ending. Miguel come pan tostado. See? You're totally getting the hang of this.
And honestly, just like that, you have the key. You haven't just memorized a couple of words here. You have learned the fundamental pattern to talk about hundreds and hundreds of different actions in Spanish. This unlocks a massive part of the language.
So here it is, everything we just learned, all in one place. This is your go-to cheat sheet. I mean it. Take a picture of this, write it down, burn it into your memory. These 10 little endings are your passport to expressing yourself in Spanish. The whole lesson is right here in this one powerful little box.
There's this great quote from the philosopher Wittgenstein that says, "The limits of my language are the limits of my world." By mastering patterns just like this one, you are actively pushing those limits back. You're expanding your world and opening doors to new people, new cultures, and new ideas.
So, I'll leave you with this final question, and notice it uses one of our new verbs. And you, what do you understand now? Hopefully it's that you are way more capable of speaking Spanish than you might have thought. Thanks so much for joining me.